Hello, this is Diego Mangabeira, and welcome to Boring Sales. Today, we're going to talk about list building 2026. We're going to talk to you about where to find your best prospects. If your cold emails are underperforming, there's a 50% chance of this is not related to your email at all. So that's related to your list. Who is receiving that information, and if the value is well added, or even if the true purpose of that email is being heard. So probably it's not, because they're the wrong persona, the wrong ICP. And on this more than 17 years working with sales, I did a lot of audits of outbound programs in different companies, enterprise companies in different geographies, startups, SaaS, SMEs, enterprise level like 3M, IBM, NewsIQ, and others. And the most common mistake isn't copy or copywriting or sequence, but is a fuzzy ICP to a fuzzy list. People pull, for instance, 2000 contacts on Apollo or any other program by job title and wonder why nobody cares. But if your ICP does have a C level founder or director of marketing or IT architect or even a senior analyst, that doesn't represent, if the other person has that job title, that person might be interested in your service or your product. That's not equal. Okay, you can't fix targeting with copy. That's really important to say. I'm going to reiterate that. You can't fix targeting with copy, but you can fix copy with targeting. Okay. And the ICP clarity comes first ever. Okay. Whatever problem that you might face, the first thing that I would advise you to do is to analyze your ICP or persona. Who are you selling to? Okay. Before tools, what makes someone a genuinely great prospect? Do you have that answer? Do you have that in your word, in your mouth? Okay, can you explain that in 5 seconds for me? Okay, not just VP of sales at a B2B SaaS company with 50 to 200 employees. That's a segment. That's not the ICP. Real ICP is the pain they feel plus the trigger that makes them look for what you offer. Okay. Most of the time, in terms of marketing definitions, we do not think that way. But once you waste a lot of money, once you waste a lot of your time or your team's time, your organization time, your company's time, that makes sense, right? And the same title could represent a different trigger, completely different email. And where you can build the list, there are a lot of tools. I'm going to mention some that might enrich your list or even increase the value of what you're doing now, and try different approaches. The first one that I'm going to share, probably you're aware of it, that's Apollo.io. Imagine Apollo could be a starting point. You might try firmographic filtering, like size, industry, headcount on this case as well, tech stack, revenue. The only limitation that we see on this case would be the data decays fast. And independence of the tool, but I could say that Apollo works that way. That person might not be working on that company anymore. So you need to do your own research manually. Okay. Verify before sending at scale. That's really important. You can't just click update information and then the person might be gone from your sequence, but it's better this way than you're sending some information from an unknown email address that is not going to reply to you. Okay. The second one that I go to advise, I use since 2022, that's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. By the way, I'm an old LinkedIn user before Microsoft bought it, but I have my own LinkedIn account since 2005. Nobody was talking about LinkedIn, but really LinkedIn is really old. And LinkedIn Sales Navigator could be used like a signal-based prospecting. So job changes, company growth, recent posts, and you can combine that with Clay or even Phantom Buster to export and enrich. So to have better information about the leads. Okay. As I say something about Clay, we can use Clay as well. Most powerful list tool that I've used in the past 2 years. Really great, straightforward, to the point that you can do whatever you want to do, or even identify any information that you want. Um, Email waterfall, if Apollo doesn't have it, try Hunter or Clearbit, or even Findy email. So Findy mail. Okay, Findy email. AI enrichment roles that you can use summarize a prospect's LinkedIn relevance into sequences. You can try to work with it. If you have any problems with Clay, there are a lot of videos that you might try. We could even try to record a podcast about Clay as well, or any other two. Other types of list building programs that I also consolidate here is D2, Capterra, Trustpilot. It's a website that reviews some things like other programs like that, Booking or something like that. People reviewing competitors' tools are actively evaluating. So strong intent signal. That's a buyer signal as well that you might try. Job boards, there are a lot of job boards that you might try, even websites about job boards that you can see how healthy that is that company, or if they're hiring because they're growing, something like that. They receive a Series A, Series B, Series C, or something like that. A company, for instance, hiring 5 SDRs is probably scaling outbound. So they might need you. Okay. Event attendee lists, highest intent source, because they are participating from events in the US or even in specific cities, San Francisco, SF, or NYC, and so on. These people showed up somewhere on purpose. They went to a city because of some reason. What was the event? Okay, or did they participate on the bundle of events related to a single area, like, for instance, AI, or even sales communication, or even healthcare, something like that? You might have your own CRM. That's your daily basis useful tool that you do on every day, right? So the most underused source in existence. Most of the time, we view, we watched, we saw, we see the information uh, uh, outside instead of inside. So try to also check your CRM. Past lost deals gone, cold, or even lost 6 months ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. What they got lost. Sometimes you were not responsible for those accounts. Can't you reactivate those accounts? Talk to those decision makers. Sometimes the decision maker that defined that you was lost in that company is not working there. So you might try to re-engage and to have a bigger deal, or even to close that client. You might try that. Okay. Do not try to be like a magician with your numbers. Try to be realistic. Use your own numbers and try to be in your favor. You already have a whole pipeline that you might try. Do not think that you need always an external information to sell. Sometimes you already have a lot of clients that you're not using it. Former champions who changed companies. Imagine that you were working with a director of marketing, or IT director, or even a sales manager, a C-level in a specific company. But for some reason, out of the sudden, he or she changed, moved to another place, to another country, but on the same position. So try to reactivate. Most of the time, not talking about that you want to sell something, but try to engage personally. Okay, sometimes even send a book, sending something funny. Sometimes that works, or even something interesting for him or her. Since you know him or her for a long time, it might work. It might be something more interesting. I say try to be creative. That always works. Free trial users who didn't convert. Why they didn't convert? Was the amount of the trial that was too big? they didn't perceive the value that you are trying to share, you might have a better reason. And once you identify that, you can also avoid to use that error onward. Okay. And this list hygiene is really important, because once you have that information, once you do that on your list building, your numbers will change. Okay, verifying emails, for instance, you can try to do that really simple before sending. You can use four websites that I just compiled here for you. Zero bounce is the first. The second one is never bounce. The third I already mentioned, finding mail. Okay, finding mail. And the fourth is million verifier. Okay, you might try one of them to check your list if they're legit or not. And the target is under 3.3% bounce rate. Okay, if you have a list under 3% bounce rate, that's really good list to you to try. Okay, and above that, above 3%, you're damaging your domain reputation, and probably you're going to have problems sending those emails. And if you send those emails, probably they're going to reach or to launch to be launched on this case on the spam folders. Okay, 200 emails clean. Target prospects outform 2000 is a sloppy one. Okay, do not try to do that every time. One other thing you might try to collect this data and see how your modus operandi, the way that you think, the way that your sales structure is consolidated, wasn't adequate with that information. Probably you don't have that. So once you have those numbers, those patterns, those new strategies, it could perform better. Okay. I wish you a great day today. Okay. And we see each other in another episode, and keep it boring. Bye. Take care.